is up?
Welcome to the Chi Talks. He says, she says. Detox the noise so ancient wisdom becomes real life. I'm your co-host, Michelle.
I'm your co-host, Jeff.
And welcome, beloveds. Our yin-yangs. How are we feeling? How are you feeling?
A little tired.
Yeah?
I'm not gonna lie. A little tired.
Mentally, physically, or both?
I think mentally more than anything. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're moving into a new clinic.
New clinic, decorating the space, which is taking me a lot longer than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stare at pieces of furniture for way too long. I'm just like visualizing it. Will it go good in the office?
Right.
And then I go to visit the actual office, and then it's just like so much more clear when it's not in my head. I'm just like in the space. I'm like, yeah, no, that definitely won't work.
Yeah.
But when I'm at home and I'm like thinking about it and brainstorming,
Yeah.
I just tend to eat up a lot of time.
No, I get it.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm exhausted, to be honest. I ironically burned a lot of chi this entire week. Some for like leisure and recreational, but some just because like school, final projects.
Yeah, you got a lot going on.
Yeah. I can't wait to just sleep tonight.
Go to bed early tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna try, but I feel like I'm so overspent that it's hard for me to like go to sleep too.
Are you having a hard time falling asleep?
I've always been a terrible sleeper.
Oh.
I mean, they tell you like, oh, you need 8 hours for men, 9 hours for women to get a good, decent night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of the rare people that can function on 3 to 4 hours of sleep because I would get good sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather did that too. Like he would sleep for 4 hours and then his clinic would be open and running from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Like that's how he worked until he passed away.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like I don't sleep that much. I don't need to and I function just fine. But it's just I've been thinking a lot, creating a lot, but also trying to finish all my final projects. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, we're still going to have to power through this episode.
No, I'm really excited about this one. So last conversation was on yin and yang, which was very...
That was a doozy, man.
It was deep and it was like exhaustive in content, right? And there's still so many questions that we could ask. But I felt like today we need to talk about chi.
This is like the namesake.
Yeah, because we are the Chi
right?
Talks.
Yeah.
Yes. So when I was playing around with doing this podcast idea, I wanted to do like a play on detox, right? Because there's so much noise, and as we say, like detox the noise. There's so much discourse about what is chi, right? And even among other acupuncturists, we fight all the time about what actually is chi.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So how do we expect our yin-yangs to understand or experience what chi is when they don't have a Chinese medical background, right?
Mm-hmm.
So want to bring it back to basics, and I feel like chi is a little bit easier to access than yin and yang. But it falls under yin and yang as well. So we're just going to kind of build on each conversation. Yeah. You feeling ready for it?
Yeah, I mean, we already started talking about chi last time in the yin and yang episode. Chi and blood, right?
Yes.
So we're just going to keep fleshing out these ideas and giving the listeners more to build on too.
Yeah. So what is chi to you? Like if I were a patient who is getting acupuncture for the first time.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this person has chi deficiency, excess stagnation, whatever it is, right?
Yes.
And they're like, okay, well, Jeff, what is chi? What's your answer to that?
I usually respond like this. I say, number one, chi.
Okay.
I like to make it synonymous with function. So if you just replace chi with function, that fills in a lot of gaps sometimes. But then when they look for like, but what exactly is it? Then I'm like, okay, well, it can mean so many things in so many different scenarios.
Sure.
So if we're talking about physiological substances, it can refer to blood, it can refer to lymph, it can refer to hormones, it can refer to enzymes, because these are all integral in the function of different aspects of our body. So it's not like any one thing you can say, oh, this is chi. To me, it's like, it's an umbrella that so many things in the body fall under. Yeah. And what would you say if I was your patient and I was like, what is chi?
Chi is energy. There's different types of chi, and I think that's what I really like for my clients, my patients, my students to understand is there are so many different types of chi. I think there's 6 or 7. There's Yuan Qi, which is your source Qi. That is your life force, right? But then there's Zong Qi, which is your chest through breathing. Then there's Wei Qi, which is your defensive protective Qi. You have Gu Qi, which is Qi that you accumulate from food. What else is there? Zeng Qi, which keeps you standing upright. There's different types of Qi, but at the very base of it, it's like for Western medicine, I feel like it's like an atom. It's like a cell, right? They just build, and it creates a force either to keep you upright, to keep you walking, to keep you digesting, but it's also part of your thought processes, right? Your Shen, your spirit, is also a form of Qi. It's a building block of it. So Qi, at the very least, is energy. Energy to fight off illness, energy to stay motivated, energy to eat, to breathe, to live, to sleep. And so I like to simplify down that Qi is energy. And when we go into more technical concepts, it becomes the function, the theoretics of how it works, how it interplays. But for me, it's very basic. It's just energy.
Okay.
So I like to ask my students this, my patients too. I'm like, if you are having a hard time grasping what is Qi, I tell you, close your eyes. Go ahead, close your eyes. You too, close your eyes. I want you to use the Rolodex of all of your friends, from past to present. Think about all your friends, and I'm going to give you a set of criteria. Think of somebody who's very nice, super nice, you really love this person, great personality, super cool, super chill, but they exhaust the shit out of you. Like, say you go to a coffee shop, you talk to them for an hour or two, and you get home and you're drained. You're like, oh my God, what the hell did I just do today? That's a Qi sucker. Every single person has at least one person in their life, be it a business partner, be it a colleague, be it a coworker. Sometimes it might be your partner romantically. Don't say that I said that. But they just energetically don't get along with you. It has nothing to do with whether they're a good person or bad person. It's just their Qi is consuming yours. So they're overpowering yours, or they are taking because you have stronger, cleaner Qi than them. But that to me shows what Qi is at the very basic foundations. It is just the energetic exchange. So doing breath work, that's Qi exchange, right? Talking to somebody. That's why talking and doing lectures is exhausting. Even though you think, oh, you're not really doing anything, but we are. We're exhausting Zong Qi. We're exhausting Yuan Qi. We're exhausting Qi. So, did I just make it too complex?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, I think maybe some of the terms, like Yuan Qi and Zong Qi and Wei Qi and Yi Qi, maybe those may be a little deep right now, just because we haven't. I mean, I know you defined them already, but we probably would have to do like a full lecture on the different types of Qi to really flesh that out. But I think the energy analogy is good. I think most people can resonate with that idea. I definitely do too. I think understanding Qi, there's a yin-yang to it too, right? Because it's hard to understand Qi until you understand the yin to that, which would be like blood, right? So I like to think in terms of function and material. I had already defined Qi as kind of functional, right? So then I define blood as kind of material. So without material substance, then chi doesn't have something to exist on, right? It's like, how do I explain this? So if we think in terms of function and material, let's take like a campfire.
Okay.
So the function of the campfire is what? Maybe provide some light, provide warmth.
Mm-hmm.
You can cook your food on it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the material of the campfire is like the firewood. So we have this one system where you have the functional aspect is quite different from the material aspect. So when it comes to the human body, then that's how I like to make a distinction between you have the material that you need, the physical matter and tissue and substance
Mm-hmm.
of the body, but then you have all these things so it can perform a function. So you can regulate your body temperature and defend against the outside. So we would call that like wei qi, right? To provide function for the lungs to breathe and for your voice to come out. Then that's the zong qi.
I think it's a portion of it. If you think of like practices like Reiki, where you're not touching, you're using your own chi to command toxic chi or somebody else's chi.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's how it's again the perspective, right? So chi can be function, chi can be doing something with another material, right? Because everything exists in relation with each other. But I think that it's a little bit different than the way I perceive chi, right? Being somebody who does martial arts, qigong also, like I can collect chi in my palm. I can collect it in a finger. I can,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't need anything else to do that with chi, right? But if you want to get really technical, yes, it has to, chi and blood go hand in hand. You cannot have chi without blood, and you cannot have blood without chi, because it is yin and yang in that aspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So chi alone can do only so much, and that's the same for blood as well. But for the sake of building blocks, I think it's easier to say chi has a function, and just as it's easier to say like energy has a function, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's directionally, it could be doing something, but always having to piggyback with like a material aspect, I think limits certain contexts to it, just because they go hand in hand, but they're distinctly separate entities, right? And I think that's what's so hard about understanding and explaining, because they're two different things. We understand what chi is. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
watching is like, yeah, we know chi. But then if I'm like, hey, tell me, hey, you right there, like, what is chi? You're like, ah, shit, yeah, you know, right?
Yeah, it's tough,
So-
and these are difficult concepts to explain
Yeah.
too, because they're so expansive. They
Yeah.
apply in so many different ways.
Yeah.
So it's hard to like find the language to nail
Yeah.
it down, right? Yeah.
But it's also different for every person. Like, you could say the same thing I'm saying, but it's going to resonate for your frequency people,
Mm-hmm.
as what you say is not going to resonate the way it would with me and the people that have the same frequency as I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I do have a loaded question, though.
Cool. Let's hear it.
Since we're acupuncturists, right? However we explain what chi is or how it works,
Mhm.
do you think that between good, better, and best acupuncturists, somebody who has the best mastery is somebody who understands how to harness and master chi? Or is it all about technique and just knowing the spots to use?
I think you have to harness chi
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. One of my teachers, when he taught us, he would come and make sure our hands were warm.
Yeah.
And that was his way of figuring out if we were practicing our qigong
Yes.
or not. Yeah.
You did your schooling in Beijing, right?
In Beijing.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
professor was also from China. He actually wrote one of the major textbooks that we use, and that's how he would touch everybody's hands. But the thing is, he wouldn't even touch. He would go like this, and he
Yeah.
would use his
Yeah.
own to see. And if we couldn't feel his chi, and he couldn't feel ours, he's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Mhm.
yeah, my dad also the same. It's like, how do you expect to needle somebody if you can't control your own energy?
Yep.
Man, they were strict. My professors.
That
were
was
so
it too.
strict.
They're like, how do you expect to handle someone else's chi
Yeah.
if you can't even feel it in yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So how did you start feeling your chi?
Ooh, good question. I think it was with. Oh no, I've been meditating for a long time.
Mm.
So I think even in my teens, I would be messing around with it.
Mhm.
But I didn't understand concepts of chi.
Mhm.
I didn't understand concepts of energy. I was just like closing my eyes and trying to create like chi blasts with my hands, kind of a thing. Didn't know what to look for. It was very unstructured. But I think you could say during that time I did feel what would be described as chi.
Mhm.
But it's just mixed in with so many other things that I couldn't reliably say that this is chi and the other stuff is like residue, right? Whereas now there's a clear difference. I know exactly what a chi sensation is and what is not. So I think it started in my teens, but I didn't reach a more deeper sense of clarity until that teacher in Beijing taught us this qigong that we had to learn to do acupuncture. Yeah.
Interesting.
What about you? Do you have a qigong practice that you had to do with the needling too?
Yeah. So a lot of the questions that I get even the questions that I had when I first started doing the practice was, is this all in my head? Right? Because if you think about something so much, like right now, I want you to just look at your palm. Have your palm, look at your palm, and focus on the center of your palm. Or pick a wrinkle on your hand and just really laser focus on that. And if you do it for long enough, you either feel tingling, or you feel a warmth, or you think you feel like blood, something, right? So then my next logical question is that chi or is that me imagining things because I'm focusing on it so much? But my dad was like, it's one and the same. You're focusing your energy. What is energy? It's your chi, right? And so the next level after doing that was, okay, if you really want to separate out, make it turn hot. Make it turn cold. So we start putting shading into nuances of it. So what I noticed as I started treating, and I never claimed to be good at herbology. It's not my passion. But I know I'm really, really, really passionate about acupuncture with using needles because I can feel people's energy almost like textures. So in certain areas, that's why if you've ever had a treatment from me, this is very, very common. They're like, how did you know? I don't know. It's like a magnetic pull where I know exactly where the pain is, and I'll feel if it's a like muscle twinge, it'll feel like almost velvet. And in other ones, it feels like sandpaper. There's some that feels like static, and there's some that feel like sand. It's different textures.
And are you
No,
your hand it's
I
not
cannot.
on the
Yes.
patient? Okay.
So if I physically touch, that sensation goes away.
Okay.
But I have to. It's almost like static. If I get this close, I can feel different textures. It is really weird because when I first started noticing that, I was like, I am for sure crazy. Like this is joint psychosis, right? But I would ask the patients, do you feel this? Is this where you're hurting? Like sprained ankles versus like hairline fractures, or it feels different. And so I got really into that, and I started cultivating. And
when was this, by the way?
10 years ago. To be honest, when I first started acupuncture, like the chi thing, it never, like qigong, tai chi, neigong, it didn't matter. It just felt like such a old foreign concept of like, the man in the mountain type of thing. I was like, let me memorize all the acupuncture points. Let me get my technique down to a perfection. And so I created my own techniques for trigger point. I did all these things. But then started feeling different. And when I started feeling different textures, and it's a weird thing to say about energy, but it's the only way I can explain it. Like this is a different texture than this, right? And versus jeans versus the ribbing. But that's how different parts of the same body would feel. Like I would feel different things, and so I started trusting that my hands are like what's doing the work.
Do you feel more of a, like if the chi is more blocked, does it feel more dense to you? It does. Okay, so the more open it is, the more it's just kind of
there's a continuation. It feels like if there's a blockage, it feels like Morse code. But then if it's not, it's like in whatever texture you're giving me. So finding that was like a long time, and I've treated well over 100,000 bodies now, and feeling those differences was really taking a toll on my own chi, because I wasn't learning how to control my leakage, but I was taking everybody else's. So people would leave feeling better, but I would have absorbed all of that. So if I see low back pain patients, I wouldn't be able to like go home because my back would be hurting so much. And so so when people are like, oh, I'm an empath, I'm like, yeah, I believe it. Me too. Except I'm not taking your feelings. I'm taking your pain. And so it was very hard. And ever since I started doing acupuncture, my hair turns whiter so much faster. So there is a consumption of Jing, of Qi, and we'll get into Jing, guys, don't worry. But it does consume a lot of your own life force, which is why I asked you to take me in as your student.
Yeah.
Because I need to learn how to protect my Qi. But it's almost like a lever. I can turn on the Qi, and without putting a needle in, I could use my hands and they would feel warm. They would feel hot. There was a woman that came in for fertility, and she was like, oh, do you have a hot pack? And I'm like, no. And she's like, what'd you just put on my stomach? And it was my hands. And yes, I drink iced coffee all the time. I shouldn't have warm hands. I used to have freezing cold hands. But my hands are warm. And it's something that I always start with. And again, every morning, because I'm a little bit blood deficient, I'll always start with my palms, and I'll just rub, like, so if you see me, and if I'm getting ready to go into a session, you'll see me kind of like rocking or swaying and holding my palms together until I start feeling like heat. And when I feel that heat, then, so hover your hands right over my palm and feel the difference. And I can feel yours. Yours feels like sonograms. And now feel my other hand.
Oh yeah, big difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one is
warmer on that one.
This is my receiving hand.
Okay.
And this is my giving hand. So I needle with my right hand. But every time I do stomach palpations, especially if you're doing a fertility, like an IVF or fertility journey, I'll always ask permission first. But I'll put my hand on your stomach to feel. And there's usually like a cold, almost like a dense blockage in like the uterus or in the ovaries, and then I'll be able to tell. But before and after the acupuncture, there is a major difference in how that stomach responds. And so
you have like immediate feedback after the treatment.
Yes. And so, I mean, patients don't know what to expect. So I give them all the education. I'm very much so when the patients that I don't get along with are people like, I don't really care, just do whatever it is you need to do. We're not going to work well together. Because if you don't have the time to understand what somebody is doing to your body, I'm not going to work well with you, right? And there are people that are like that. They don't want to explain anything. They're just like, just trust me, I know what I'm doing, and they do that. Like, that's your type of person. But for me, I'm giving you my life force. So I worked at a spinal center. I have had really great results with scoliosis. Like, I had almost like a Jesus-like moment, and she is still in Upper East Side. Was in a wheelchair, used a walker, used a crutch. She's no longer in a wheelchair. She dropped 30 pounds naturally. All of her lab results, like to the point where her primary care doctors were like, what even are you doing? And I was like, I just did acupuncture. right? And so if you understand how chi works and in the different aspects of chi, right? Like, is it your defensive chi that's fighting your internal chi? Are you not getting enough of XYZ? Then I can facilitate to realign that, right? So I can tell you all of the acupuncture points that I'm going to do, how long I'm going to retain them, the exact order, the exact depth. But I feel like acupuncture is kind of like, I love food. It's like Michelin star chefs, right? We're all chefs. I want to be Gordon Ramsay because I love Gordon Ramsay, okay? If I'm Gordon Ramsay and you're Bobby Flay and you're so-and-so and you're whoever else, right? If I say, here are 10 ingredients, this is the exact steps we're going to do, cook your temperature at this, take it out at this time, we're going to get very different dishes because we have different temperatures, we have different, like, some people are going to be heavy-handed with the salt, some people are going to be less-handed with the salt, right? But what the idea is, acupuncture is really based on the person doing it, which is why some people come in, I don't even need to put a needle in, and they're like, I feel like I'm home. And it's they just release all of that energy and tension that they came in with. And some people need a little bit more of a nudge, like a scared cat, right? We got to approach very, very quietly, very calmly, and let you come to me. But it's, how well do you understand your chi? And if you don't have a full mastery of your own chi, you can't really understand somebody else's, right?
Do you think that this skill is something that can be transmitted, or do you think you have this like extra sense in your ability to perceive that kind of chi?
It's a really hard question for me to answer because I have been very lucky to be born into a legacy, right? It's not something I wanted to do, but I do think that when they say it runs in your blood, I really do think that it does, right?
Did your dad have the skill?
Yeah, my dad did, he was a feng shui master also, but he could read land. He could read energy of land. He could tell if there was roots or rocks or if this was concrete. Like, he's just very, on a different level. My dad was an herbalist, so he preferred herbs over acupuncture. And with him, they did a lot of fertility basically because, again, as royal family physicians, you have only one job, and that's to make sure the king stays alive, but also you get male heirs. So, unfortunately for all the women who took my father and my legacy's herbal formulas for pregnancy, they've all had boys.
No way.
Yeah, it's crazy. They've all had boys, but it's
although most Koreans want males.
Yeah. My dad included. He was not happy that I was a girl, but he was happy that I took over. But yeah, I think that some people are born with it, but no amount of natural born talent is ever going to outweigh somebody's true dedication.
Yeah. So do you think you can start from zero and learn this skill then? Just by training your sensitivity and training your ability to sense what's happening?
Okay, I'm going to get canceled for saying this, but...
Do it.
I feel like I really hate the Western idea that everybody's 100 is 100, right? For me, my 100 for acupuncture for chi is 150, whereas average are going to be at 100. But from there, if you're at 100 and you only know and you're only maximizing and utilizing 80, me teaching you and guiding you and honing you to get to 100, you're going to be 100 out of 100. But if your max capacity is 80, and you're expecting me to get to 100, I can't do that. So I can only work with what you have, right? And so for people that have an affinity for energy, that are softer, that are more receptive to this, your max is not 100. But if somebody's at 80%, that's their 100, right? But they really dedicate and they qigong, they do neigong, they do all these things to really hone it and they maximize and optimize their 80, it's going to outweigh somebody who's not maximizing their 100%, because 80 out of 100 versus 80 out of 80, very different percentages, right? So great, you have natural talent. Don't get complacent, don't get comfortable. Because it's still blood, sweat, and tears. You have to continue to hone it, right? At 14 years in, yeah, I could make a living comfortably, not doing anything else except just continuing to do acupuncture, right? But that's not how I work. That's not how I function, right? So for people that do want to learn, if you're sitting here and you're like, hey, I actually really do feel energy, I'm more sensitive to this, reach out to me. I'll teach you. I'll work with you. We can figure it out. But again, I'm not the only certified Chinese medicine baddie living this lifestyle, right? Find who resonates with you, but also has enough experience and the tutelage abilities to guide you into your best version, right?
Well, that skill you're talking about is very rare.
Yeah.
None of my teachers at school mentioned it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they didn't have the skill, but that's
Yeah.
definitely not part of the curriculum
Yeah.
and not part of what students can reliably use
Mm-hmm.
in clinic, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, me being, I think, just a normal student, I have to rely on pulse and
Yeah.
tongue and
Mm-hmm.
abdomen.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like I want to learn this skill. This sounds really,
Yeah.
really cool.
The fact that you can tell the difference in my energy textures
Mm-hmm.
before and after me gathering my chi, but also in my giving and receiving hands, you already have the framework.
Yeah, there was a clear
Yes.
and obvious difference when I
So
did that.
your framework is already there. So
Uh-huh.
now I just have to fill in, and that's, I think, what I'm very proud to say that I'm good at.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I can pinpoint what it is that you need filled in
Mm-hmm.
and build, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't need to teach you, oh, these are the different energy textures, right? What you're telling me is, I feel this and I feel this. Great. Let's sharpen that. Let's finesse
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody comes to me and they're like, I want to learn this, but I don't have any experience, I don't even know what I'm looking for, I can start with your ABCs, right?
Yeah.
So I love
Yeah.
teaching, though, because something that somebody asked me was, okay, well, what about your legacy? You don't, are you going to, if you have kids, are you going to force them to do it? No. They're like, okay, well, if you don't have kids, what are you going to do? I don't want this medicine to die with me, right? That's such a waste of generations of knowledge and experience, and just, I don't even know the right word to even show the respect that I should,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't believe that it should stay within just the Han family, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be for, and I actually am actively choosing, hand selecting mentees to teach this to, so that, and again, I don't need you to be certified the Han method or the Han legacy. I teach you the meat, the essence of what the Han family does, which is harness energy. And like you said, and you studied in the heart of hearts of Chinese medicine, you studied in Beijing. And so for you to tell me that no, it's very rare for somebody to do this, I'm super proud to hear that. But also I'm like, Dad, did you hear that? Like, I'm doing it right, you know? But it's, I want to teach people how to do that. You can read on Google, you can read on Wikipedia, on ChatGPT. What points do I do for this? What's my herb formula for this? Who's going to teach you what energy feels like and how to harness that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to charge you for it, but I want you to learn it. And if you're going to do it, I want you to learn it correctly. Because you can change lives with this for the better, but also destroy them if you don't do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, these are gifts to humanity,
Yeah.
I feel like. And there's so many things that are being lost from generation to
Yeah.
generation right now. And when I think about the skill gap between my master's generation in Tai Chi
Yeah.
and then the generation below him, which would
Yeah.
include me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, I'm worried for Tai Chi, man.
Yeah.
I'm like seriously worried
Mhm.
because it's, you know, Kung Fu guys that were from the past and born in that era, they're like a different breed. It was Kung Fu all day,
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
These modern lifestyles, it's hard to the environment to foster that kind of skill and knowledge is just not really there anymore.
But I feel like that's why this time is so perfect for what we're trying to do.
Yes.
Right? Even people that were hearing about the Chi Talks, oh my God, what do you mean it's an hour? No one's going to watch, no one's going to pay attention, no one's going to do this. But you guys are here, right? And we're the 1 hour or the 50 minutes or whatever it is that you get to slow down. Right? We're not asking you to do anything. We're not asking you to give us anything. You just have to listen. And that's what yin nourishment is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to know, honest to God, if you want to know if you are yin famished, turn everything off, set a timer for 2 minutes. Keep your eyes closed until that timer goes off. Every time you open your eyes or you check the timer, mark it. See how many times. If you cannot even give yourself 2 minutes, you are yin famished. Not just yin depleted or exhausted, you are suffering. So people are like, oh, your Instagram videos are like 2 minutes. They're too long. What do? They hold it down for 2x the speed. Yeah. You can't do that.
Yeah,
Give yourself the time. When they say stop and smell the roses, truly, for what are you on this hamster wheel for? Great. You've busted your ass. Now replenish that. Give yourself the time. When's the last time you looked in the mirror and you're like, damn, you're fine? Everybody laughs when you say that, but I'm like, seriously, I don't need somebody to be like, oh my God, gorgeous, you're beautiful. I know I am. But it's because I take care of my skin with my 10-step skincare routine, a double cleanse, but also I am taking care of my insides. I am now making sure that hard stop, even as a content creator, an hour before I try to go to sleep, my phone is off on do not disturb and away from arm's length. And I listen to city sounds, I listen to my neighbors fighting, sometimes they're not fighting. Just the 2 minutes was so hard. And then after 2 minutes, it became 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became 30 minutes where you become one with yourself. You're breathing.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you ever just stare at a blank wall?
Yeah.
Do you ever do that?
Yeah, but the difference is like instead of spacing out, like some people are like, the difference between like zoning out and like having your mind
you're, like,
out of
drooling
yeah, right. You're just like and then you come to your like shit. Where am I? Yeah. No, but it's really just existing, right? And that is so hard.
That's right.
You work so damn hard to please everybody around you, your boss, your partner, your friends, your spouse, your whoever. Why do you not give yourself the same? Please yourself.
It's true, man. Yeah. The slower you take it, honestly, the more enjoyable life gets.
Yeah. I mean, it's different than just coasting by, but it's truly to be existing, comfort in your own body, and to just slow it down. Take the deep breath, stop by for the coffee, make it iced. Like, you know what I mean? People are in a rush to like, I got a Keurig, so like I make my coffee and I run out the door. No, I force myself not to do that. I love coffee, but here's a routine. I go to the coffee shop, and they know my order. So when they see me walking up, they already have my drink ready to go because I do the same damn drink every single time, which kind of can get annoying if you want to like switch it up for one day. But
what is your morning routine? I'm curious.
I wake up super early.
Okay. What time?
Actually, I wouldn't say super early anymore. I wake up at 7.
Okay.
And I don't need an alarm.
Okay.
I'm up at 7.
When do you go to bed?
It varies.
Should I not have asked that?
I try to be in bed by 11:30 and asleep by 12.
That's good.
It does not work. I have been so in my creativity and creation phase that I'm going to sleep around 3.
Okay.
But I wake up at 7.
But you get up at 7 regardless.
Yeah, it does not matter, yeah.
Okay.
But I have a thing. I wake up in the complete dark. I don't do anything. I don't move. And I have a mantra, and you guys are welcome to steal it and borrow it. Actually, you can't steal it because I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you free permission. I say, I am dangerously blessed. I am divinely protected. I am magnetic. I am powerful. And I am a billionaire with a B in followers and in my bank account. And it puts me in this mindset of, I don't have time to waste. Mm-hmm. I have all these gifts to share. Mm-hmm. And also, if you're a billionaire, you don't need to be rushing to get on the train. You don't need to be pushing people out of the way to cross the sidewalk. You know, there's a level of like, I've made it. Mm-hmm. So, yes, while I don't actually want to have billions of dollars, I don't even know what I would do with all that. I want to be in that billionaire mindset where I am in the luxury of giving to other people and being able to share what it is. And ever since I started doing that, I moved differently. And I stopped rushing to places. Like before, I'd have to cross the street and like be there. I have to like walk really fast. But now I don't feel like I'm being chased. And I've had a lot of shit happen to me, right? Really bad, crazy, like Netflix worthy shit. But I've always learned something from it, grown from it, and I realized looking back that I was divinely protected. Things that really could have gone, like my accident. How many people were in a serious accident like that and not in a wheelchair, having the ability to live their life in the way, but be able to share this message? Like, I'm not just somebody that was like, oh, acupuncture saved my life. No, I feel like I'm paying that back when I'm doing acupuncture, when I'm treating people, right? And so I am extremely proud and blessed to be where I am. And that, I think, has, just going back to the whole energy talk, it has calmed my chi from being frenetic, right? Not chaotic, but I choose the word frenetic very carefully because it's regulated. And I have triggers. People trigger the fucking shit out of me sometimes. But what I realize is regulated doesn't mean like, namaste, I'm so chill, like, I turn the other cheek to you. No, I don't even know why I use that voice, but like, that for me is like, well, like, I'm not like targeting anybody, but you know what I mean? But that's like, there's like a specific type of like
exactly
spiritual girly, right? Now, what I realize regulated is like somebody, a biker this morning almost rammed into me. I turned around and was like, fuck you, you fucking shit. And then he looked at me and I was like, seriously? And then I was like, I'm done. And I kept going. There was no residue and remnants of like, motherfucker, like, bitch, I don't know, you know, like, it was just like, it happened, I got triggered, I was in the moment, but I let it go and I was able to sit with that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I recently had to stop being with a friend who I had been friends with, and I've told you all about her. She bought me a humidifier for my 40th birthday. Okay, like, I just there's so many questions and comments, but the reason why I had to cut her out was because her chi was very consumptive. It was very just exhaustive for me, and I would always have to hype her up, support her, and mentally just tell her like, no, you're the shit, you're the best, you're the greatest. But when I was in the dumps, she didn't respond and she didn't reciprocate because she got too comfortable receiving from me that I was like, hey, I'm really like depressed, I'm going through some stuff right now, I'm like really not in a good headspace. Well, let me tell you about my shitty life. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can't do this.
Vampire,
right?
huh?
Yeah. And so it was like, it was a better part of a decade, but like, I can't continuously be giving to somebody when they don't understand that it's a give and take, right? It doesn't have to be 50-50. That's not what I'm asking for. But if I've constantly been supporting you and lifting up your spirits, lifting you up as a person, hyping you up, when the very rare time that I'm saying like I'm mentally in the dumps, and you're just like, oh well, my life is worse, and then you try to make it a competition. I have to protect my chi. So sometimes loyalty is not the answer.
Yeah, I'm proud of you for doing that.
Thank you. It was hard.
It's tough to cut those ties, but you really. There's no
really
other
hard.
answer, right?
Yeah.
Unless you want to just keep bleeding chi.
Yeah.
That's no answer.
It did suck, and I was contemplating for a long time before I finally had to make that move. But I do. It's sad. I miss the friendship, or I thought I would more than it affected. I thought I'd be really like a friend breakup sucks. It's really hard, right? But I didn't realize how much it was one-sided until I cut her out, and nothing in my life changed. I wasn't missing her. I wasn't thinking about her. I was just, my life did not change at all. And I think that's what really like put things kind of into perspective for me of like, oh, I was not doing an assessment of what's taking my energy.
Did you get more energy back?
Yeah.
After that? Yeah. So.
I mean, you I don't know if you probably noticed because you've seen me through this. I'm more creative. We're doing more content. I'm really posting. I'm going out there like.
Yeah, this whole Chi Talks happened after.
Right after,
that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm doing panel talks. I'm hosting events. Like I'm leading cohorts. Like I'm really in
it's so
my.
Nice to have that energy back. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Letting go of old emotional ties. Yeah.
Yeah. My hair is longer and it's shinier.
Damn, she was making you lose hair.
Damn. I know. I should get a haircut, but like.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel more complete, and
Amazing.
I think that's a sad thing to feel and say that you feel after you've cut out somebody you've been friends with for so long. But chi is so precious. Yes, unlike Jane or your essence, chi is something that you can constantly like replenish, right? You eat well, you sleep well, you live well.
Yeah.
But you can't replenish if you're hemorrhaging at a faster rate, right?
Yeah.
So do your chi assessments. You have chi sucker friends, cut them off. No, I'm just kidding. Just
do something about it.
Yeah. Just protect your chi because it does make a world of difference. Like, just like that little assessment we did earlier, you always have that one friend that even just sitting with them makes you feel complete, makes you feel lighter, makes you feel secure, right? Those are the type of people that are the same frequency or the same chi like wavelengths as you are. And there's some that are like net neutral. They don't do anything for you, but they don't take anything for you.
Yeah.
And then there's people that are just net losses, right? And sometimes if it's just a temporary thing, sure, you can lift them up. But if it's constantly you're having to dump into them, is that what your chi is worth, right?
Yeah, I think figuring out what your chi is worth is like a process of wisdom too, right? You don't know you have to break up with friends until like sometimes you're just like the answer is just so obvious in front of your face that you can't like look the other way anymore. You try to turn around and it's like still in your face.
Yeah.
You know, so unfortunately it comes to that point sometimes.
Yeah, I think if I wasn't turning 40 at the time, I probably would have been having the same conversation with you this time next year. But something about turning 40 and realizing that she had spent 80% of my 30s being upset about her life and you know, just kind of using me as a hype girl, I made the decision, do I want to enter my 40s with this same dynamic? And I didn't. I didn't want to do that. Yeah. So, yeah.
40s. Can we talk about 40s? Can we talk about 20s, 30s, 40s?
I hated my 20s.
Okay.
Started warming up to my 30s.
What did you hate about your 20s?
It was so volatile. Like, I just felt like I didn't know who I was. I want to talk about grief. on one of our conversations.
Okay.
Not about like the loss of a loved one, but like the grief of who you wanted to be or who you could have been. Because in my 20s, I sacrificed who I wanted to be for who I had to be. Right? I had to survive. I had to work hard. I had to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and everything feels so pressure cooker because it's like, where are you going to college? Where are you working after college? Are you getting married? Are you doing this? And it's
right.
One wrong mistake in your entire life is like dominoes or a house of cards.
Yeah, seriously.
And so I felt like who I became in my 20s, I thank that version of me for protecting me and helping me survive. And when I had to break that version of me down with my own hands in my 30s, that was the hardest thing I had to do. Because I know how much blood, sweat, and tears went into making that armor for myself, that when I had to break it down for a version of me that I had yet to know what that was going to look like, was the most terrifying moment of my life. In the 30s, I started getting a hang of it, and I was like, okay, I think I can do this. I think I like this. And then something about 39, I woke up the 40th day, and I was like, 0 fucks to give. Welcome to 40. So
Damn,
I feel like
that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in my best era of who I want to be from who I've had to be. So my past shaped who I am now, and I'm finally feeling comfortable and confident to say, this is me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That resonates with me too,
Yeah.
actually. I think for me, 20s was, I was lost, but I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay.
I was lost with a lot of life force. So I didn't know what to spend it on. So
Yeah.
I would spend it on video games and alcohol and drugs and whatever else you do with that kind of energy.
Yeah.
Then late 20s was the Beijing adventure, right? So that spilled into 30s. And then 30s for me was like a dark time. It was the whole Beijing saga. I remember I told you it was like the best time of my life and then the worst time of my life.
Yeah.
That was when I had my burnout and when I had all my health problems. So 30s really felt like, oh my God, I have to like pick all the pieces back up and rebuild this house. And it just felt like a slog too. Partially because I was rebuilding my health, but I was also like, my Tai Chi was like so shitty too. Partially because of the health issues.
Yeah.
But it felt like I had to rebuild everything brick by brick.
I get that.
And then 40s is now like I get to finally kind of enjoy the fruits of my labor in my 30s. Now it's like, ooh, I feel so peaceful and happy, and oh, I love my job. This is great. And oh, my body actually feels really good too. So yeah, 40s for me has been just, I'm kind of riding a high, but I know I have to buckle down a little more and kind of focus the shin a little bit. And but I think right now I'm just really excited about what's to come. Even in this year, we just we started the podcast obviously. Yeah. But there's the clinic just opened up as well. Yeah. There's just, I feel like so many things changes that are happening right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Well, buckle in, baby. We're in it. We're in for a ride.
No stopping now. The train has left the station.
And y'all are coming with us.
Yep. We totally drifted off the chi thing, didn't we?
We did, but it's the chi talks.
That's right. Yeah. Are there any big things regarding chi that we might have missed?
No, I think we've got, and I'm borrowing this from one of my dear friends, but I think we got their brain biscuits going about what is chi.
Okay.
How does it fit into yin and yang?
Yep.
Because our yin yangs are on the chi talks with Jeff and Michelle. And again, it's not something that you talk about. It's not a one and done, right?
Yeah.
Chi, yin, yang, Chinese medicine, life force elements. It's going to be a recurring theme. So we're just going to build on these layers so you're not feeling lost, right? It's not just a one. We are still navigating and learning what chi is, what yin and yang is, and how to harness that. So you're never too late to start. And already we're starting to kind of fit frameworks in, right?
Yeah. And we're going to be using the language a lot more too, right?
Yeah.
I end up using chi so much in just my daily talk
Me
now.
too.
That I think the more you and I use it together on this podcast, people will be like, they'll start to fill in naturally.
Yeah. My Instagram followers and my TikTok people, they're like, oh my god, my Shen was so, and I was like, yes. They talk about Shen, they drop the chi, they talk about, so I'm like, but it is a lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just something you do, it's a lifestyle, it's the way we live. Yeah. So, join the clubs, baby.
Join it. How's your chi feeling right now?
Feeling good. Feeling regulated.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, it feels actually more alive than when we started the podcast.
I would agree. Yeah. Man, these conversations fly by quick though.
They do. Well, that's the Chi Talks. Keep detoxing and let your body do what it do.
Bye, Inya.